What is up, everybody? Welcome to another analysis video. This time I'm going to be moving away from the NA scene into China, casting LGD Forever Young versus IG Vitality. I believe this was the winners final in the Chinese Open qualifiers for the Boston Major.
Dyer's ban.
I haven't watched this game before. I don't know too much about these teams. I know that IG Vitality is pretty skilled players. They have IG Paparazzi, 9K player, and Super as well. I'm not sure if this is the same Super from DK and VG from a while ago. I don't think so. I think it's a different Super, but I don't follow the Chinese scene too much,
10
so
seconds to go.
My knowledge on their play in terms of
5 seconds.
what they do individually and play styles and all of that is not too good, but I'm looking to do more of overall analysis on how they play in China compared to NA. Let's get rid of this caster thing is blocking the draft. It looks like LGD Forever Young will start off with a Bat Rider and Bounty ban. Bat Rider being a very powerful hero this patch, and Bounty being able to create a lot of pressure in lanes. And IG Vitality will pick up Ricky first, so it's apparent that they like to play that playstyle with that Invis harass in the mid lane and roaming to any lane that he can get things done. With IG Vitality taking out OD and Faces Void, pretty standard bans this patch. They're just gonna take out two very powerful heroes this patch that LGD might pick up, but instead they'll pick up the Slaughter and Enigma.
10 seconds to go.
Slaughter being a very powerful hero, once he gets his Blink Dagger up, he can make a lot of plays happen. And Enigma in the jungle is not too popular of recent, but he always provides that team fight presence and also able to farm up that mech if they need him to. But with Ricky in the game, they should be able to pressure him accordingly. Ricky roaming into the jungle can be quite annoying for Enigma. It will slow him down quite a bit, so it looks like Enigma won't be able to free farm the jungle with this Ricky pickup. And IG Vitality immediately responds to Enigma with Silencer, a hero that's very strong against Enigma, and the fact that he can just silence from anywhere on the map and stop Black Hole. LGD Forever Young will ban out Beastmaster, not Bat Rider. They banned out Bat Rider already. Very powerful off lane, again able to farm up the jungle and get pickoffs, as well as push towers. IG Vitality will take out the Timbersaw, a hero that is pretty strong, even played as a position 1 carry in the safe lane or as a mid hero. He's very versatile, can go pretty much to any lane, get his farm up and deal out a ton of damage in team fights. LGD Forever Young will decide to ban out, I'm just going to call him LGD.FY, it's too long saying Forever Young every time. LGD.FY will ban out Sand King, another powerful offlane hero. I guess they're really afraid of IG Vitality's offlanes. They do ban out 3 with their 4 bans so far. IG Vitality will get rid of Lifestealer, hero that allows them to combo up with that Slaughter, so it's a pretty natural ban. Let's see what LGD.FY will pick up in the second phase of the banning stage.
10 seconds to go.
Or the picking stage, I mean.
5 seconds.
I'm assuming they're gonna go something that allows them to force towers more. With Enigma, you really want to take some towers down, and it's also the Chinese playstyle. They like to group up a lot, pick heroes that can siege towers, and they're more team-oriented. They'll play a safe playstyle. They'll go for organized tower pushes and organized sieging. and things such as that. I haven't watched too many Chinese games recently, but overall it's just the Chinese play style. They're very disciplined, they play safe, they, the best rotations happen that they can. They don't really play too greedy like with my last analysis on Infamous. You see that there's playing kind of all over the place. It's very different in China. Even if they lose in China, they'll lose pretty much as a team. They're not gonna make those greedy individual plays. They will pick up a disruptor to help facilitate their team fight. With Enigma and Disruptor, they have pretty powerful team fight right now, as well as a Slaughter running in and out of the fights with his Blink Dagger and Slither and Crush. Let's see how IG Vitality responds to that. Ideally, they want to either match with a similar level of team fight, or they will try to avoid it a bit, maybe pick up a split pusher and try to just split the map, not really meet into them head to head. Instead, they will pick up a Sven, a hero that can split the map, push out creep waves fairly quickly, but I wouldn't really consider Sven a split pusher. He does want to team fight at the end of the day, and against LGD Forever Young's lineup, it might be pretty difficult. Slaughter being very powerful against Sven, and the fact that he's able to just kind of kite him around, stun him a bit, and even put that amplified damage on Sven, subtracting a lot of the bonus armor that he gets from Warcry. So let's see what LGD.FY picks up. They will get a Razor, a hero that's very strong against Sven, can drain all his damage when he jumps into the team fight, and Sven is not particularly a mobile hero, so it's going to be hard for him to get away from that, especially if he gets controlled up by Slaughter or Disruptor and Enigma as well. So right now I'm in favor of LGD.FY's draft. It looks like IG Vitality is kind of picking a little reactionary. They do pick up that Ricky first phase, because I'm assuming they like to pick that hero. LGD.FY read that and also banned the Bounty Hunter. And Ricky, compared to Bounty, is not quite the same. Bounty allows you to get that track advantage, while Ricky, even though he provides a little more disable than Bounty, allows you to use that smoke to get pickoffs that Bounty might not be able to. He does not provide the same track advantage that Bounty has, but during the early stages of the game they play relatively the same. IG Vitality is really thinking about this. They're spending a lot of their reserve time. They're a little behind right now in the draft, so they're probably thinking of a way to get themselves back into it. As I said, they either have to meet up with LGD.FY's team fight, or they're forced to just try to split the map and use that Ricky to provide vision for them to get around the map and just avoid LGD.FY, because right now LGD.FY looks a lot more powerful in the early to mid game team fights. They'll pick up a Darkseer in combination with that Sven with Vacuum. He can just clump up all enemies together, and Sven can just pretty much stun them all and cleave them all to death in combination with the Silencer ult to prevent them from casting spells to get away. It is a good combination, but it's pretty difficult to get it against LGD's lineup. They do have a lot of teamfight and a lot of disrupt for that. With Disruptor, glimpsing heroes away, casting Static Storm, as well as the Kinetic Field.
10 seconds to go.
Slaughter being a slippery hero, and Razor able to sit there in the front lines and tank up damage, steal damage from Sven, and dish it back out. So it is not a bad pickup from IG Vitality, but I still think that LGD.FY's draft is still superior. Ideally, they want to get something that will allow them to disrupt LGD.FY's team fight even more. Darkseer with his vacuum wall can do it to a certain extent, but at the end of the day they need Little Hero to really break up the team fight, cause more distress for LGD.FY, and that pickup will be Storm Spirit. I really do like it. He allows IG to just leap around the fight, cause chaos, and hopefully catch LGD.FY off guard, not allowing them to cast their big team fight ultimates and win team fights. They will pick up Super on LGD.FY, pick up Dragonite for Super on LGD.FY as the last pick, and it's a hero that is able to just take down towers, siege it down, and a hero that is pretty popular in the Chinese scene over a lot of patches. It just fits very well with the Chinese playstyle of safe plays, sieging, and just taking things slowly and methodically.
10 seconds to go.
So I think IG Vitality did pretty well at matching up the draft to LGD.FY. If not, they're still a little bit behind in the draft. I think LGD.FY's draft is still a little bit better, but with the Storm pickup and the Darkseer pickup, as well as Silencer, they have a lot of spells to disrupt the fight. Even Ricky Cloud can stop LGD.FY from getting their combo off, and if they can break the combo, they can have a good chance of taking this game. Free camera. So they'll TP the Slardar to the bot lane, and that's on LGD.FY's side to drop this ward. He's managed to get this down. It looks like Super on Silencer also TP to the bot lane, and I'm not sure if he actually caught a glimpse of the Slaughter or not. It looks like Slaughter is still smoked, so he didn't quite catch him in time. And I wonder if he's able to read this ward or not. Does this block? I think this barely blocks it. He put it on the very edge. Sven will head to the bot lane. Pretty standard build on him. Ricky will go for a more greedier build. It looks like Silencer spent most of his items on wards. He'll give it to Ricky, of course, because he is quite superior warder, being invisible, allowing him to go anywhere on the map and place wards wherever you like. That's one of the strengths of Ricky, and that's why he's a good support pickup.
30 seconds to go.
Darkseer will head to the off lane, and there will be no action in the early game for this game. Looks like they'll just trade runes, and Sven is just sitting in the bot lane, setting up in case there's any heroes walking through here. But they already got their ward down, so
the game
it's not like there are going to be any rotations happening on this side this early. Storm Spirit will take the rune, as well as Dragonite. Darkseer will decide to go to the lane instead of going straight into the jungle. He feels like he has a pretty decent chance of getting something out of the lane with Enigma in the jungle. The matchup against Razor for him is not too great, especially if he just gets glimpsed back. They can do a decent amount of damage. Razor will start out with Static Link level 1 because he knows Darkseer will probably level Iron Shell. He's going to steal a bunch of damage in the first wave. Open up the last hit, denies. Slaughter will get harassed out by the Silencer, and both sides are relatively equal with only one support in the safe lane, so that means both offlaners are going to be able to get a lot more of the off lane, with Ricky really contesting the Enigma in the jungle. Pretty much playing counter to each other, with Enigma trying to farm and Ricky really trying to shut him down, as he's not going to be able to harass Dragonite, Dragonite on the dire side. They were both playing on the opposite side of the map right there, so I got a little confused, but yeah, Ricky's not going to be able to harass Dragonite too much. Storm should be able to provide a decent matchup against Dragonite, as he does have a lot of magic damage, and the Dragon's Blood is not going to prevent him from taking that. Enigma will get tired of getting harassed by Ricky in the jungle, and Radiant did get a ward here, so they're able to spot him, jungle these two camps, and he'll just make his way back into the Radiant jungle and try to farm there. He does find a wolf in the medium camp here and starts farming it up, but Ricky will just follow him. And the biggest thing here is just Ricky's just sapping all his levels, and when he makes a rotation to the Radiant jungle, he has to be careful because there's Silencer here to help him out, but Ricky's taking a lot of damage from the Eidolons as well as the Malefice. So he does have to back away a bit, but right now they're just chasing Enigma out of their jungle, and I don't think he will fall. And yeah, he'll be just fine, but they will shoot him out of their jungle. So Enigma will be relatively shut down. Ricky will now be looking to make a play on Dragonite, but as I said, with Dragon's Blood, he will choose to again put 2 points in it, so he won't be taking too much harass from Ricky. It will be slightly annoying, but it won't be anything to write home about. Ricky will run into a regen rune top, but I think he'll just save it for the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit does get a very fast bottle. A lot of CS for the first 2 minutes. He hit pretty much almost all the creeps. Might have missed a few. I mean, I'm for sure he missed a few, but he hit most of them. 16 CS at 3 minutes is pretty good. Ricky will go back into the jungle and start harassing Enigma. Enigma's 3 clarities, but Ricky, he's not going to let him use them. So he does pick up Dust, and they do go on the Ricky, and it looks like Ricky will just fall. There's no way he's going to get out of this. With a rotation from Disruptor, he will be punished for his harassment of the Enigma. And Enigma is probably really happy right now. He's like, "Ha! I got you, Ricky. Freaking stupid goat guy trying to stop me from killing these creeps. So you don't mess with the freaking gravity black hole master." But Ricky will be punished for his sins, so he decides to go bot and try to put some harass on Slaughter, who had a decent lanes up to this point. He does manage to hit almost level 4, but right now it looks like he will almost go down, but he will just sprint and get away. And with Poorman's shield up, he's able to tank a lot of that damage and get him out just fine. Disruptor will continue to stack and pull and try to get up experience that way. Darkseer is also having a very decent time top, as there's only so much that Disruptor and Razor can do to zone him out. Very early in the game they can zone him out a little bit, but then once he gets levels up, he can just keep pushing in the wave and get his experience and farm. Ricky will make his way up to mid lane and the enemy jungle again, as Slaughter was made to leave the bot lane, but now he will TP back and he should be able to get finish his level 4. Ricky would look for Enigma, but they do scout him out or something. I guess they saw it coming, and he will just run back to base and not take the risk of running into Ricky and Darkseer, as they saw Darkseer run this way with this ward here. And they do manage to ward their own camp, because with Darkseer you can push in the lane and then pull this camp, and it's really annoying for the Dire team. So very good heads up play, and they do ward it right at the beginning of the game, but it will expire now. Looks like while Ricky passed by mid, he did place a ward and a D-ward here as well, so Storm does have high ground vision, and Storm could look for a play on the Dragonite. He is killable if he pushes up too far, but it looks like Disruptor will sit behind him. Storm just hit 6, so they're just playing cautious there. Well, they don't want to risk at all Dragonite going down to any type of rotations from the supports when Storm hits 6, and he will place a ward while he's at it. Enigma, meanwhile, will TP to the bot lane to go farm the enemy jungle, as well as clear up some creeps here with his Slardar. He's tired of Ricky bothering him in the jungle, so he will make his rotation bot. He does have decent levels, and with high level Eidolons, they can even pressure this tower a bit. They'll even decide to take Dragonite into the bot lane, and they're going for a full tower push on the bot lane, while meanwhile Disruptor getting levels in his mid lane, him almost hitting level 4.
Radiant structures must have been fortified.
Razor is playing very careful top, as they probably spotted this rotation from Storm. They did not actually have word of it, but they know he got the real rune since they see the bot rune and it was a bounty. So Storm with a real rune, Razor is going to play very carefully. He doesn't know what it is yet. It was a haste. So while they're doing this push bot, Razor is trying to defend top. He's playing pretty passively, doesn't want to get killed by Storm Spirit, and Storm is gonna realize this and not overextend. So the push bot is repelled. They didn't really fully commit for it. They actually don't do much damage to it at all. As Sven is probably just be able to clear the wave with his cleave, and Dragon Knight is forced to back. They're not going to fully commit to that as well. They don't want to take a bad team fight there, as it is Chinese Dota. They're not going to go for any super YOLO crazy plays. They're just going to play it calm, collected, and go for what works, what is safe, and what they've practiced. So the game has been slow so far. It's only been one kill, and that was against Ricky in the jungle trying to harass Enigma. He got caught out right here with the dust pickup. Enigma will make his way up to the top lane. He is actually not that good in terms of levels, as he's received a lot of harassment from Ricky, but he will get his level 6 eventually. So with that bot lane push not paying out so well, he'll go to the top lane to start to make pressure there.
Radiant's top tower is in bad shape.
Sven will actually just ulti to farm this camp. Most players don't do this, but using the Sven ultimate just to farm puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team. It helps you just clear the wave real quickly so you can enter the jungle. Prevents you from taking unnecessary damage from the creeps. It allows you to clear it a lot faster, and just why not? If you're not gonna go fight with the God Strength, might as well make the most out of it using it to farm. And usually at 8 minutes, Sven does not plan to join any fights at that time in the game, so it's very worth it just to use ult. Meanwhile, I'll actually miss the kill top. I'll actually go back and see what happens while I was talking about Sven with ult efficiency. Yeah, so they do definitely go for that tower push bot. They'll bring 3 heroes here, and they'll get caught out by a wall from Darkseer. They won't actually have vacuum yet, but Storm Spirit does TP in and pick off a kill on Disruptor. He jumps on Razor and Enigma as well, but they do get a stun on him. They still manage to take out Razor as well, and looks like Xiao will go down as well on Enigma. So that tower push, even though they got the tower pretty low, was a bit too ambitious, as they were able to just drop that wall, chase them down with the illusions, Ricky and Storm Spirit, and they did not even have Silencer for that, so they just kind of ran them down, and with number advantage they were able to get 3 free kills. So very good play there from IG, reading that very well, knowing that Sakata on Storm Spirit has a power spike right there. He just hit level 8. He didn't put a point in Electric Vortex. He's relatively farmed, and he can join that team fight. While that was happening, Dragon Knight was just putting pressure on the mid lane, and he will get it down decently low, but his Dragon Form will expire, so he won't be able to finish it off before IG Vitality gets there to defend. He'll actually make a play on Dragon Knight, and as I said, Storm has a lot of kill potential on Dragon Knight, but unfortunately he was already turned around, so when Storm jumped past him, he was able to immediately stun him and just walk away. Sven will ult again to just kill the Enigma Ironlance, and as I said, this is just an efficiency thing. If he's not going to use his ult to fight, which they do not plan anytime soon, he might as well just use this to farm faster. It looks like Storm will make a jump onto super mid, and with the help of Silencer and Ricky, they're able to take him down. And as I said previously, Dragon Knight, even though he's quite a tanky hero, is susceptible to Storm Spirit because most of his damage is magic and is overload, and static remnant. And he does also put a point in Electric Vortex, allowing him to disable him that much more. So while all that was happening, Enigma was pressuring the bot lane. He looks like he is going for mech. He does have Black Hole now. And with him and Slaughter, they're just planning to put pressure on this bot lane tower with this catapult at the 11-minute mark. Both the supports, Ricky and Silencer, will head down there to try to slow it down a bit, but they're just going to go for their knight, and Ricky actually does get it off. They jump right on the Silencer, and they don't have any dust, so then they just ignore the Ricky and go for Silencer. They managed to just chase him down and club him to death. Unfortunately, Xiaowei did not have dust or anything on him at that time, so Ricky manages to get away for free. And while that bot engagement was happening, after they took out the Dragonite, they were able to finish off the tier 1 mid on IG Vitality, or on LGD.FY side. Let's go to net worth now, and we look. Storm is at the top. He's used his ult multiple times to farm, and he hasn't died yet. He's just been farming. He's going for the Echo Saber build. He did pick up the Helena Dominant. Let's see if the Ancients are stacked. The Ancients actually are not stacked at all yet. The supports really haven't walked by that area a lot. It looks like Enigma and Disruptor went for a smoke play in the mid lane when they were pushing this tower, but it looks like IG Vitality just let it go, so they weren't able to catch anyone out there. He does have Black Hole, and they do have kinetics or Static Storm to team fight, but IG Vitality will just play it safe and let the tower fall for free. So with Dragon Form used, Ghost is rotating to the jungle, farming it up, while Xiaowei will head over to this side and farm these camps to finish off his mech. With him almost being there, he'll just need around 400 more gold. Ricky is just going over on this side, warding. He'll get a pretty deep ward in here, and they'll put a ward here as well during that mid-tower push by LGD.FY. Sven will stack his Ancients once and farm it. He's very farm hero on the map, but with a hero like Razor, he's just going to be able to steal Sven's damage in a team fight right now, and he does even go for that max. No, he doesn't. He just puts 2 points in Static Link right now, but once he gets more points in Static Link, he's just going to be able to zap Sven's damage at a rapid rate, and there's really nothing he can do to get out of it. He really has to rely on his Darkseer to search him or something to get him away from that Static Link. But if he gets caught in the kinetic field or Black Hole or something like that, there's no hope for him. They'll make a rotation toward the enemy Ancients, which Ricky scouted out. It actually looks like they smoked for it. He'll just go up there, pop his ult, and farm it real quick. Very nice play right there, shutting down the enemy's farm. Even though they do not have a hero that can really farm Ancients that quickly until Dragonite hits level 11 and gets his level 2 Dragon form with the splash damage, they do pick up a blink on Slaughter. He does pick it up in the side shop right here, and they're looking to make a play for Roshan, but this should be scouted out by Ricky and his ward up here, so they see it coming. And it looks like there's smoke popped or something, and dusted, but Ricky was able to just walk up on this top side and get out, so he's not in danger at all. And with that dust being popped, they know that something, or that smoke being popped, they know that something is here, and they'll just walk out of the Roche pit and try to go for a bait play, but instead, IG Paparazzi will make a very good rotation in and take out the Disruptor before he casts any spell, but this Black Hole is huge on 4 heroes, and they'll all fall down for that. Storm Spirit will manage to leap away just in time, and Ricky was just playing on the sideline in this, so he's not really in danger. He was, I think, the only hero that wasn't caught in that Black Hole, if I'm correct, but that is just going to be a free Roshan for LGD.FY now. The Ricky even gets caught in the sentry, and they blink on him and blow him up. So the Ricky does fall as well. Storm being low on mana is just going to farm up this bot wave. There's nothing he can do about this. He does not have mana to go for any cheeky steal or anything like that. So even though they got a very good initiation on the Disruptor with the Sven stun, they just walked into a 4-man Black Hole, and they just got way too grouped up. And that was one thing why I think that LGD.FY's heroes are better. Because if that team fight doesn't go perfect for them, and they do blow the silence before the Black Hole, And even though Silencer does get caught in the black hole himself, so even if he was outside, he wasn't able to silence that. But they blow it right away to try to start the fight and get as many kills as they can. But they weren't able to get anyone other than Disruptor. And with that mech pickup by Xiaowei, he was able to mech up his team black hole and turn that fight around. Dragon Knight does get caught in this top lane here, trying to farm these creeps. This is quite far out of position alone. I guess he didn't expect all of the IG Vitality to be up here so soon, as they just respawn. It's a small mistake from Dragon Knight, gets him caught out and killed there. And that's just down to Ricky providing the vision for that, and Storm Spirit being able to make the jump. He does give vision right now of Slardar farming, and he does get a little spooked seeing that his buddy Dragonite just died here, and he'll walk back a bit. Ricky, meanwhile, is also planting a deep ward on the Dire side. This ward from the warding on the Dire team is pretty decent. They have a ward here scouting this rune area. This really is just to protect their jungle a bit, as well as a ward broadcasting the enemy's ancients, so you'll see when Sven is farming it, and deep wards in the enemy jungle as well. It looks like Silencer ult will be used. They do try to make a play on Sven, but very, very well-timed Silencer ult will stop Slaughter from using Slither and Crush and canceling his TP, and he'll just get out. Very decent play by the Silencer. I mean, heads up play by the Silencer to just do that to get his Sven up, but the problem is they won't have Silencer ult for this team fight. LGD.FY has the Aegis, and they're going for that mid push. The Dragon Knight does go for the Dragonlance build. Very good stats, and allows him to siege towers from further away, even though he's very tanky. You just guys want to play a little bit back, and the Razor also has a Dragonlance, so they have very good range on the tower, and they're able to hit back at a safe distance, not coming so deep where they can potentially run into a vacuum ball before the Dark Seer gets Blink Dagger. Slardar makes a jump on Silencer, and he does fall, even though he does not have his ult right now, so he's not too big of a pick off. They will walk into the enemy's ancients and farm it, so very nice tower push by LGD.FY, very clean. They get out, and they do secure the enemy's ancients as well as a Silencer pickoff. It looks like IG Vitality is posturing to potentially fight here, and Storm does make his jump in. He jumps directly on Razor, which is not the best hero to jump on, and they'll drop their vacuum wall, but it looks like LGD.FY will mech up and just get out of there, and they're not going to commit for a fight there. Enigma did not have mana for Black Hole, and they'll just get the fuck out. They still have Aegis on Razor. He's very tanky. He's going for that Sanj build before looks like Yasha. So he's going for that race car Razor build, Sanj and Yasha, Dragonlance, and most likely he's gonna pick up a Boots of Travel at some point as well. He's deciding to keep his Boots of Speed, not upgraded. So after that, they're going to rotate into the jungle, farm a bit, and farm this ancient side of the map, while IG Vitality will head into the top lane to push it out. Sven will be the one designated to push it out. I mean, usually it's a Storm Spirit. He's a lot more mobile. He's able to get out if anything goes wrong, but he'll decide to farm his jungle instead. Sven will be the one to push top, and this nice big wave for him, and he's able to clear it very quickly. He's not really putting himself at risk, because they really see that LGD.FY kind of rotated back over here, and they have a ward here, so unless they're smoked, they're not going to be able to get him. And he does TP out right away. He decides not to go for the next wave, and they group up on IG Vitality right now to potentially look for a smoke play or something. They do have a smoke on Silencer, as well as a haste rune on Storm. And they do put a ward up in their ancients area, as well as they do not do ward actually. They get their ancients blocked by the sentry here, and they still have not dewarded it. They do have a deward here, but it doesn't look like they caught vision of this ward on Dire's side. And LGD.FY is just playing very back. They know that all of IG Vitality's heroes are missing, and that Sven TP from the top lane here to look for a smoke. But while they were looking for that smoke, they realized, oh wait, 1 second, LGD.FY's heroes are all missing. So we can't really go anywhere. We don't see them at all. And Ricky is just sitting in the bot lane, maybe trying to scout something out, farming some creeps as well. He's quite poor, he doesn't have anything yet. But they don't see any heroes, so they don't know where they are. I think they believe they caught a glimpse of Zhao 8 mid a bit, so they kind of know where they are now. So they do go for that smoke. With Sven just picking up his BKB, they're going to hit that timing. But they still have to be careful of running into that black hole, because that BKB is not going to save you against that. Ricky does scout out the Dragonite, and he does get caught, but he has BKB already, and he's just going to pop it and tank up, and they're going to kill the Ricky when he gets dusted up. The Sven does pop his BKB as well, but he's not going to be able to kill anyone during the liberation. He gets glimpsed back and killed. They will use Global Silence right now, and Dragonite might go down, but their Sven is dead, and Razor will also pick up the Silencer in the background. They'll commit Black Hole for the Storm Spirit, and he will fall as well. So very good play from LGD.FY. They were just postured up in a good position, and even though it looked like they got caught out a little bit, with the superior team fighting heroes, they're able to just turn it around in their favor.
You know the drill.
Dragonite was just way too tanky, and even though they get a very good initiation on him, he was able to just pop BKB, survive for a very long time. This looks like Disruptor is trying to ward the enemy side of the map, and he gets caught out by this vision from Radiant, and Sakata will just TP in and leap and kill him. An easy kill for him. That'll make up for the Bloodstone charges lost in that mid lane fight, but he'll still be suffering, and as he only has 9 Bloodstone charges. The Slaughter will actually go for a Midas. I mean, I guess he's had it because he has a decent amount of gold in his inventory. I haven't been looking at items that much. The Razor will finally pick up his boots to travel, and with that one fight, it looks like LGD.FY is take a handed lead in this game. Again, they like to use the silence relatively early in the fight. They're not really saving it for Black Hole, and as IG or Super was killed anyway, he wasn't able to save Storm from that Black Hole. So even though with these big disruption team fighting ultimates like Black Hole and Silencer ult, as well as Darkseer Wall, Vacuum. Vacuum is really this combination is really his ult. Look at the cooldown on this; it just got increased more and more every patch, until it has 28 cooldown, 28-second cooldown, which is pretty high for just a regular spell. It looks like LGD.FY made a smoke rotation into the enemy jungle to drop wards, as well as potentially find a pickoff, but IG will play the top side of the map, so they won't get caught there. The Midas pickup on Slaughter is interesting, showing that they're playing a lot of grouped up 5-man Dota. They've been playing together a lot, so he just wants to be able to catch up on farm and not lose too much farming experience while 5-manning. Enigma does pick up Greaves, so team fighting is going to be very, very difficult for IG Vitality, as they do not have Greaves yet. They only have a mech on Darkseer, and he does have a Blink Dagger, which allows him to initiate with his Vacuum Wall of Replica. But the problem is they're just simply not be able to burst down heroes. LGD.FY's heroes are too tanky with the Greaves and with the mech. I don't think they had Greaves in that previous fight, but they're just able to tank up on all their heroes and survive the initiation from LGD Vitality, and if they can do that, they're able to cast their teamfight ultimates off and win the engagements. Super will try to get some experience spot, but he'll get spooked and TP out. They're going to group up right now on IG Vitality, and LGD.FY already made that smoke from their ancient side into the enemy jungle, but they won't find anybody. Now both teams are missing on each other's map. They don't see each other. Of course, they're both smoked. LGD.FY will just walk back into the ancient side of the map and farm very safe. As you see, this Chinese playstyle, they like to be postured up in very safe locations. They like to go to where this farm is safe and secure, and they don't want to risk running into any bad fights. It looks like IG Vitality will walk into Roche Pit for a split second there, and they'll find themselves caught out by a glimpse, and Ricky will get tracked up and killed, but the rest of his team bailed way before that, and they'll be able to get away. But with that Ricky pickoff, LGD.FY is going to feel confident to push themselves into the Roche Pit, and with that amplified damage on the Roche, they're going to be able to take it down very quickly. Even with relatively low damage heroes in the Dragon Knight and Razor in terms of just taking down Roche, the amplified damage will help them quite a bit. Though gonna make a jump on Xiao on the Enigma, and they're gonna manage to pick him off. But the Storm is in trouble, and he does commit suicide. With that Orchid pickup, they're be able to take out Xiao. I believe he actually had Greaves to remove it, but I think he got bursted down too quickly, and he wasn't able to cast anything to save his life. He might have also been on cooldown, so they use Greaves here in this small skirmish here while they're trying to take Roche. So Sven does have a blink now, and Ricky looks like he is building into a diffusal blade, which is a pretty good item, allows him to have more lockdown. He can diffuse dust off himself, but he's still very poor. He's all the way down there compared to the Xiaowe's and Big One. He did not farm at all, and Xiaowei does get caught out again. He was just trying to push out the bot wave, and Ricky catches him out and kills him with the Storm Spirit, but Storm Spirit again will pay for that with his life. So even though Xiao 8 manages to die twice in a very short time span, it's not quite worth it for IG Vitality as they trade their Storm Spirit for it twice. The first one being a suicide, but the second one is a real death. And now he'll be dead for quite a while with only 4 Bloodstone charges, as LGD.FY is putting heavy pressure in the bot lane as they have all 5 heroes here ready to push in this tower. And with Aegis secured on the Razor, it looks like he's going to BKB as well. They're going to be very, very, very hard to pick off. The Dragon Knight does decide to go into the Shadow Blade. Very good pickup that allows him to take out Storm Spirit by surprise, as well as any hero that he can really catch up with his Dragon Tail stun.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Xiao actually was not there for the push because of course he was dead, but Dragon Knight does get initiated on by Sven, but they don't manage to catch him out in time. You know, he just pop BKB and walk out, and he's just gonna kite his way back in there. He's gonna even get a couple of hits off on Sven with his Dragon Lance, and Sven will just get caught out and killed. Slaughter is just gonna amp him up, and with that damage amplification, he's not gonna be able to tank up that much at all. And with the damage stolen on him as well, he's gonna have to just fall. There's really nothing he can do. The Dark Seer managed to fall in that fight as well. And without Black Hole even committed, just with Static Storm used, they're able to just walk up with the high ground relatively confidently. Silencer ult, of course, is still up, but they're missing out, and they're Sven as well as Darkseer, and they really need those two to defend this Rax. Stormpeer will just try to stall it out for as long as he can, but he's not going to stop them from taking the Rax. And with that, they're going to be able to take it out, and Dragon Knight will just Shadow Blade out and get out safely. They're going to go for the safe play. They're not going to risk anything else. Not even going to go for the range, as it will slowly fall to this catapult. They don't want to give up anything. That was a very good play here. Dragon Knight does get initiated on. He does not have Aegis, but he's a hero that you really do not want to initiate on at this stage of the game. Before he was killable, but now with his BKB, he is very tanky. He will BKB out, and even though he got a little low here, with the Greaves up, he's able to perfectly just get out and kite the Sven. And the problem with Sven here is if he can't burst LGD.FY's heroes, there's nothing he can do, because once he goes in, he's gonna get static linked up by the Razor, and with kinetic field and everything, like that, he's gonna have a very hard time killing people in a team fight after the initial burst. And that's been their problem this entire game for IG Vitality. Their initial burst is simply not enough on the Sven and Darkseer initiation, as well as Storm Spirit, and they're catching themselves out in bad positions, chasing low HP heroes into big teamfight ultimates such as Static Storm and Black Hole. In the drafting stage, I said that LGD.FY had the superior teamfight draft, and I am indeed correct. They do have the better teamfight, and they're able to just play it better, having a lot of teams, or a lot of heroes bait, and turning around with big teamfight ultimates and slaughter crushes. This game has been relatively clean for them. They haven't really made any severe misplays, and because of that, they're able to secure themselves a very good advantage. IG Vitality themselves had a pretty clean game themselves. There's really no big misplays by them. It's just that LGD.FY's draft is simply more suited to take these engagements, and when IG Vitality think they have an opportunity to blink in and get a quick pick off, they're underestimating LGD.FY's tank, and heroes are just surviving on low HP, getting out with BKB. It's happened twice with Initiate on the Dragon Knight, and he just BKBs, gets out, survives, and they turn it around with their ults. So this all boils down to a bit of an out draft by LGD.FY. I think both teams have played pretty much at the same caliber. There's not much misplays by IG.V. It's just their draft is just not so well suited to play against LGD.FY. LGD.FY has the better game, and as long as they're playing it safely, they're not getting caught out alone, and because that's the power of IG.V, is really they're able to catch out heroes alone. They're just mostly been 5-manning on LGD.FY, and a team fight will start here. They're able to blink in and kill the Disruptor right away before he's able to cast his spells. They'll go on Jiawei next, and he'll go down, but he's able to cast his Black Hole before his death, and that will just slow down Sven enough for the rest of his heroes to just go in and finish him off, and they'll finish off Storm as well. And with what looked like a pretty good fight to start out, taking out Disruptor before him casting out any spells, they're able to turn it around with that Black Hole, and even though it got cancelled pretty much immediately, that gave them enough time for Razor, Slaughter, and Dragon Knight to go in and finish off those kills. And Sven not being that tanky anymore, with level 3 amplified damage on him, he's gonna take minus armor of 20, and that is very significant on a hero like Sven, who really relies on that to tank up. And with that, LGD.FY is looking to push into the top racks, and it looks like this game should just be about over. They will back out right now with IG.V's heroes respawning. They're not going to risk that. Their resources are relatively low. They don't have Dragon Form. Their health is low. Their mana is low. They'll back out and regroup for a push later. But right now, it doesn't look like anything IG.V can do to stop this. Once the death push hits their high ground, Dragon Knight as well as Razor, who does pick up his BKB with 9 seconds, and Shiva's guard now, there's very little they can do. With a hero like Sven, you want to just burst the enemy and kill them pretty much immediately. But the fact that LGD.FY picked these tanky cores and heroes that can just kite him around, and once his immediate initiation comes in, they're able to just kite him, deal damage to him, amp him up on Slaughter, and finish him off. And there's not so much Sven can do anymore. At this point in the game, even if they got a perfect like 5-man vacuum into like Sven's stun, they're not going to be able to kill them all in that duration. And they can't do that. There's not much that IG.V can do to come back into this game. Their only strength in this game was to have superior vision with the Riki and the global presence of Silencer. Riki will just walk into the Sentry and die. Storm Spirit will jump in and kill 2 heroes in the backline, which is huge, as In July made a vac and wall play in the back line, taking out both of LGD.FY's supports, but this Sven will get caught out in the front and get killed by the 3 cores. Silencer ult will be used now, but Darkseer doesn't look like he will survive. Dragon Knight stuns up the Storm, and Storm will fall as well, and they will call GG. That was very good play by In July to initiate on the backline. We managed to blow up the supports immediately, but Sven will get caught out in the front and fall, and without Sven there's not much that they can do to take out the 3 extremely tanky cores on LGD.FY. And I think that was just very well drafted by LGD.FY. They played it perfectly. They knew exactly where they would fall short in terms of getting split and getting picked off on like side lanes, so they played very well in the ancient area of the map where they can hold that high ground, farm it safely, and just stay as 5 and make sure that they don't get picked off by the Storm Spirit, they don't get picked off by Ricky, and because of that they're able to secure this victory. It's very well played from them. They played it very safe. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They had the superior draft. They executed it pretty much perfectly, and they're going to be able to secure that victory. And Chinese Dota, compared to NA Dota, is a lot more organized. You can see a lot more strategy in it. It's a lot less clowny, a little less entertaining because of that, but if you look at it from a strategic perspective, a lot more informative, and you can learn a lot from it in terms of how to play around the map and basically go for the safe plays and not take unnecessary risk. And as you see, LGD.FY was able to secure that victory because of that. Every time they did get caught out, it was the Dragon Knight getting caught out, and even then he had the BKB, so they knew that he was fine. So when they did get caught out, they got caught out on heroes that could get caught out and survive. And when Xiaowei got caught out twice in that game, he did fall, but both came with a trade, as they played very tight to each other, and they were able to punish that pickoff with a kill on Storm Spirit twice, which really set him back. And the Storm Spirit that is not able to snowball off of kills and going shorter and shorter in his bloodstone count. I'm not sure that even makes sense, how to English anymore. I've done too many of these casts, but I'm just going to end it off there. Well played by LGD.FY. Xiaowei is a god. I'll see you guys next time. See you later. I'm out. Peace.